A mother and son share one of the most profound emotional connections in the world. It's a bond built on love, protection, and understanding. But when that bond becomes unbalanced, it can create deep scars that shape a man's entire life. A toxic mother-son dynamic isn't always obvious. It can hide behind affection, care, or concern. It can sound like love but feel like control. And the effects don't just fade with age. They echo into every relationship the son will ever have, from his friendships to his marriage. Today, we're going to explore 8 toxic mother-son dynamics that can quietly destroy emotional growth, identity, and independence if left unhealed. If you recognize these patterns, understand, awareness is the first step toward breaking free. The overprotective mother, when love becomes a cage. An overprotective mother often acts out of love, but the result is suffocation. She tries to shield her son from every hardship, pain, or failure, believing that protection equals love. But in doing so, she robs him of the chance to grow, to fall, and to rise again. The son learns that the world is dangerous and that he's incapable of handling it without her. He grows up anxious, indecisive, and dependent. When he becomes an adult, he may struggle to take risks or make bold choices because he's never learned how to trust his own strength. The overprotective dynamic teaches fear, not freedom. It's the difference between preparing a child for the world and protecting him from it. True love allows space to fall, because falling is how we learn to stand tall. The emotionally absent mother, the wound of neglect. Not every mother is loud in her toxicity. Some are simply absent. The emotionally distant mother might provide food, shelter, and structure, but she withholds warmth, empathy, and validation. Her son grows up feeling unseen, unheard, and unloved, not because she didn't care, but because she couldn't connect. This emotional starvation shapes how he views love as an adult. He may crave closeness, but fear rejection. He may seek constant reassurance, yet feel undeserving of affection. Emotional absence teaches a cruel lesson, that love must be earned, not given. This dynamic can lead to relationships where he either becomes the caretaker or the distant one, forever replaying the emotional void his mother left behind. Healing begins when he realizes he didn't need to earn love. He simply needed it to be real. The controlling mother, the puppet master. A controlling mother doesn't raise a son. She manages one. Every choice he makes must align with her approval, from what he wears to who he dates. She disguises control as care, saying, "I just want what's best for you." But what she truly wants is obedience. Under her influence, he never fully develops his own identity. He becomes afraid of making mistakes, constantly second-guessing himself because he's been trained to prioritize her voice over his own. The controlling mother creates a man who struggles with autonomy. He may either rebel aggressively or submit completely, both driven by unresolved control wounds. The hardest part about this dynamic is that control often feels like love until it suffocates your soul. Freedom begins when the son learns to make decisions for himself, even if they disappoint the person who taught him to fear doing so. The narcissistic mother, love with strings attached. The narcissistic mother sees her son not as a separate person, but as an extension of herself. His achievements become her trophies, his failures her shame. She craves admiration more than connection, and her love comes with invisible strings. He must perform, impress, and reflect her perfection. In her world, there's no room for his individuality, only her image. Her son learns early that love is conditional. He hides his emotions to maintain peace, suppresses his needs to avoid conflict, and grows into an adult who seeks validation instead of authenticity. The narcissistic mother doesn't nurture a son. She raises a mirror. And when he finally breaks away, guilt and confusion follow, because he's been programmed to believe that pleasing her is the same as being good. Healing from this dynamic means reclaiming the right to exist as himself, not as her reflection. 5. The enmeshed mother. When boundaries disappear. In an enmeshed relationship, the mother and son are emotionally fused. There are no boundaries, no privacy, and no independence. The mother may rely on her son for emotional support, treating him more like a partner than a child. She overshares, depends on him for comfort, and subtly discourages him from forming other close bonds, especially romantic ones. The son, in turn, feels responsible for her happiness. He learns to prioritize her needs over his own and feels guilty for wanting distance. This dynamic can create deep emotional confusion. When he grows older, he might struggle to form healthy attachments because he's been conditioned to feel that love means losing himself. The enmeshed mother-son relationship is not closeness. It's entrapment disguised as intimacy. Real love allows connection without erasing individuality. The critical mother, the voice that never stops. The critical mother believes she's motivating her son, but her words cut deeper than she realizes. Nothing he does is ever enough. Every achievement is followed by, "You could have done better." Her criticism becomes the soundtrack of his inner world, echoing long after he's grown. Even as an adult, her voice lingers in his mind, whispering that he's inadequate, unworthy, or weak. This constant disapproval breeds insecurity and perfectionism. He might become obsessed with success, not out of ambition, but out of desperation to finally feel good enough. Or he may give up entirely, believing there's no point in trying. The critical mother doesn't see how her tough love destroys the very confidence she thinks she's building. Healing begins when the son learns to replace her voice with his own, one that says, "I am enough, even when I'm imperfect." 7. The victim mother, the master of guilt. The victim mother controls not through aggression, but through guilt. She constantly reminds her son of her sacrifices, the things she gave up, the pain she endured, the struggles she faced because of him. Her suffering becomes his responsibility. Anytime he asserts himself, she plays the martyr, saying things like, "After everything I've done for you." This emotional manipulation traps him in a cycle of guilt and obligation. He learns to suppress his desires to keep her happy, fearing that his independence will hurt her. The victim mother creates emotional hostages, sons who confuse guilt with love. As adults, these men often attract partners who also manipulate through guilt or self-pity. The only way to escape this pattern is through emotional boundaries. Compassion doesn't mean submission, and love doesn't mean carrying someone else's pain as your own. The abusive mother, love that hurts. The abusive mother inflicts wounds that last a lifetime, whether physical, verbal, or emotional. She uses fear, humiliation, or punishment to maintain control. Her words can be as sharp as her actions, telling her son he's worthless, stupid, or unlovable. This kind of mother creates deep trauma, teaching her child that love equals pain and that affection must be earned through obedience or endurance. As an adult, the son may struggle with trust, intimacy, and self-worth. He may even repeat the cycle, becoming either the abuser or the abused, because pain feels familiar. The abuse can come in many forms: yelling, shaming, manipulating, or ignoring. No matter how it manifests, it leaves invisible scars. Healing this wound requires immense courage. It begins by accepting one painful truth: you can love someone deeply and still need to protect yourself from them. These 8 toxic mother-son dynamics each leave different wounds, but they all share one devastating outcome. They stop a man from becoming his authentic self. The hardest part about these relationships is that they often begin with love. But love without boundaries, respect, or balance becomes poison. A son who grows up under these dynamics may spend years trying to please, fix, or escape his mother's shadow, only to realize that true healing comes from within. The journey to break free from these patterns isn't about blame. It's about awareness. It's about recognizing that your past doesn't have to define your future. Healing means learning to set boundaries without guilt, to love without losing yourself, and to forgive without forgetting. It means understanding that your mother's behavior was a reflection of her wounds, not your worth. Every man deserves to build a life free from manipulation, guilt, or control. And every mother-son bond has the potential to heal, if both are willing to confront the truth and rebuild it on the foundation of mutual respect and emotional independence. Because real love doesn't chain you, it sets you free.